All right. So thanks for all this stuff. We'll get it back to you ASAP. First project? Yay, nay, decent? Not a whole lot of math, apologies. I mean, there's not a whole lot of math on there. Fractions for the most part, and reading. I mean, it's the most reading you'll ever do in a math class. I mean, in this, and then you take 244 even more. Because the focus here isn't on the math. The math is and the math that's in here, you did most of it last class. On Tuesday. That standard deviation calculation, that's probably the most math you'll do all term. It's not about the math in here. It's about what the math is either A, showing you, B, disproving, or C, creating more wonderment about, if that makes any sense. So it's all about where the math can take you. The math is not the end. It's a means to more means, if that makes sense. So you get to these, data shows you things. And sometimes it shows you more than other times. But it always shows you something. And the question is, what can you get from what it's showing you? It's not going to be x equals 2. It's going to be x equals, I wonder if I can get anything more out of that. So math is secondary. It's a math class only by the fact that it didn't fit in the other department. There should be a statistics department. I mean, most schools have a stat department. Most community colleges don't. But a school like Portland State or U of O or OSU, they have statistics departments, as they should. It's like Portuguese versus Spanish. I think I told you guys that before. It's that different. It's that different. So it's under the umbrella of mathematics, but it's definitely not pure mathematics in any way, shape, or form. Which is why Laura was concerned about one of the quiz questions based on blah, 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 blah. Do you think the name Old Faithful is appropriate? There's not going to be one right answer for that because nobody's ever answered the question with any. Nobody's put a Wikipedia page up. Is Old Faithful the correct name for this geyser? I mean, somebody could look and say, yeah, because we think that most of the eruptions happen around here. Some people can say no, because I think it's too varied. I mean, there's all kinds of good answers for that. Just use your numbers from above and support it. Support your position. I mean, it's a discussion at that point. It's not me handing information to you and asking you to hand it back to me. It's me seeing, can I push you a little further? Can I push you to use this new language in a new way? That's the idea. I love the Old Faithful. What's the most regular geyser in Yellowstone? The most regular. It's not Old Faithful.
It's real close to it, I know that.
It is. It's in the same complex. It's called the Minute or Minute Geyser. It's about this big, and it goes off every minute. When you sit there, you're like, ah, and it goes, bloop. You're like, yes! And like, a minute, and then bloop, and then it goes again. It's super regular. But it's this big. What's the biggest geyser in Yellowstone? It's not Old Faithful. It's called, of course it is, it's called Texas Geyser, right? And it's like 400 some feet tall. But it goes off at weird intervals. Like sometimes it'll go off like once every 7 years, and then it'll blow and like 45 minutes later blow again. It's way, way variant as far. So why did they build the road to Old Faithful and put a hotel there? Put that big lodge there?
It's got a neat name.
But they didn't have a name before its behavior. Why did they put a hotel there?
You count on it.
You can count on Minute Geyser too.
Well,
You can count on it actually more than you can count on Old Faithful, or more accurately.
It's real pretty.
decided.
It's substantial.
It's the perfect blend of both of those things, right? You can count on it enough, and it's big enough, right? That's the idea. There are plenty of attractions in Yellowstone. Anybody ever been to Yellowstone? Plenty of neat. There's a morning glory pool, which is gorgeous in its own way. I mean, it doesn't spout. It's just this pool that's multiple different colors in there. In that same complex, I believe, is Old Faithful, if I remember correctly. But Old Faithful has this dynamism. It's big enough and it's regular enough to capture our attention. Therefore, it gets a road and it gets a lodge. Whereas Minute Geyser gets a note in a book. So anyway, let me collect some real quick data. I want to. If we have time, we'll come back to this. If not, we'll come back to it on Tuesday. I collected the other classes' heights and I cross-referenced it by gender. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call out some heights. I want to see if we can actually use this a little bit later on today. If anybody doesn't want to report their height, that's fine too. I'm just going to be looking for genders and numbers. So I went down to 4'6". I didn't know how small was small enough to start with. Anybody under 5 feet? Okay, anybody 5'0" even? 5'0", 5'1", 5'2". We got, hang on one second, guys. Sorry, I need to switch this over. We got 5'2s. I'm sorry, we do have 5'2s. 1, 2, just two? 2?
3 of them.
Kirk, come on in. 3, there's 3 of those?
Yeah. Yes.
How about 5'3"? We got 2. 5'4". We got 1, 5'4". 5'5". 1, 2, 3. 5'6". 5'7". 5'8". 5'9". Yep.
Wow.
Count you two, Kurt?
Rows over here.
All right. 5'10". 1, 2, got 1 and a 1. 5'11". 5'12". 6'0". 6 foot even. 1, 2, 3. I'll put myself in there too because I round to that. Oh, wrong. Here. 6'1". 6'1", Alex here, and coming maybe Dylan, thank you. There's 2 you got. Did I get everybody? Richie, what are you?
6'3".
You're 6'3". Boom.
Am I it?
Anybody else? That's everybody. Okay, so all I did here, I'm going to get you guys in here for the voting in a second. I'm trying to see if there's any predictable shape in heights. I've been told for years that heights have a certain shape, and when I say shape, if you cross-reference the data in a certain way, that overriding graph has a certain shape. And I'm going to start collecting data. I had this idea last night riding home from work. I figured I'd start with you guys. Nothing is quite popping up right here. I'm going to play with this while Kurt talks and see if I can tilt the data to make anything pop up. I think it might be too small a data set to have anything show yet. So anyway, we'll save that. And I'm going to introduce you to Kurt from ASCOCC. And tell me your name.
Stephanie.
And Stephanie, we're going to talk about voting. He's pointing to me. Ready to go?
We are. Yeah.
I'm going to turn the camera off unless you want it recorded.
No.
Okay. Well, then we're going to